If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Move forward each and every day. If it's just the 10 to 15 minutes that we ask, you can find 10 to 15 minutes in 24 hours each and every day the market is open. At the most, that's 5 days a week. I know you can do it because I do a whole lot more each and every day. Each and every day I do it. You can do it too, no matter how busy you are. If you will just find the time, dedicate yourself to it, you will master this. All you got to do is put in the mileage. Let's jump into these charts. We see stocks are down along with gold and Bitcoin. Bonds are up a little bit. S&P 500, we look on the half-day chart. We can see where things had rolled down and then started moving up at the beginning of July, and now they're burning off some. We haven't had the STC rollover going down yet. We're looking for a spike down like we saw last time. We ended up gathering a nice little down move there, 3.27%, and we will be hoping to do that again if and when things roll over. But do you notice how nice it is to capture strong down moves? When you see things really hammer down, you jump in and ride that strong wave down. When you don't have strong waves, it is much, much harder. And we look over here at what happened back in mid-May, the 19th of May, a little after middle of May. We had a crossover after some nice strong down candles. We didn't get the STC till late in that move. And of course, it did not work for us. It popped down and then popped over up on us, and we caught the back end of that. Did not work well for us. That happens every now and then, but that's okay because there's always another trade. In fact, the one prior to that, we got in much earlier. And if you'll notice, you'll see a pattern. The earlier the STC rolls over and gets you into these moves, typically, not always, the better. And it's nice to see when they really accelerate like it did into that move on the 9th of May, when it really started moving down. And of course, we garnered in that one a 4.2. Now, the beautiful thing is we have a 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio. So we're only risking half the amount that we want to make, which means when you do this, you don't have to win every time, not even near every time. You can take a little loss when those hit you, as long as over and over again, you are doing a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So what does that mean? It means that getting out when you hit that red zone, particularly when you blast through it, but getting out, cutting your losses is the key to winning. If you do that, if you set up like a 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio and you get out when it doesn't work and you maximize it when it does, then you win again and again and again and again. And even when you lose, you limit those losses, but you got to prove that to yourself. We're not a stock calling service, we're an education firm. If you will practice with us, you will see that in action. So we don't have a move yet on the S&P 500. We are hoping to see that happen. Remember, the 2-day is in a green up move, although you can see this latest candle burning off some of that, but still green on the STC. Weekly is still red, negative, and down. When we move over to the NASDAQ 100, same there. It's just skirting along that weekly 200 EMA, so that's 400 weeks of movement. It's just staying above that. It is still red, green on the 2-day chart, and again below it, sort of sliding sideways. You see a lot of that happening. That's why we're just not getting any great signals for moves, because again, we aren't having real impactful, strong down moves here lately. That's what we want to see. We want to see that trigger go, and that's what we're waiting for. Again, down a little bit on the NASDAQ 100.97% for the day, and just for the record, the S&P 500 down 0.88%. So let's move from stocks into bonds. Bonds up a little bit for the day. The only green we see on the charts. Now again, we're not jumping into that up move. Why? Because we're well below the 200 EMA. So we are in a downtrend overall, and we are not jumping into that. We're looking for short trades. We tried that before, did not work on this last trade, but of course, we've had some really good trades this year on 20-year bonds. And again, how do you short 20-year bonds? How do you short the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500? You can do it with either puts, or there's those good inverse funds that we encourage you to practice. TBF is the inverse fund on 20-year bonds. So what do we see? 2 days of up movement, green, waiting for things to rotate over and hammer down for us if indeed that's what happens. We look at the 2-day. 2-day is in the green also. We look at the weekly, and it is, of course, some up movement there. This week not reaching the highs of the last 2 weeks so far. Still red, though, on the STC. So we're just waiting for things to pull back, if indeed they do, or to blast up and push through the 200 EMA and let us go long. Whatever the charts tell us to do, we do, because if you don't follow the charts, you're gonna go under. Let's look at what's up with gold on the half-day chart. Gold plummeting down even further. We just see gold, it really hammered down over several days, actually 2 super strong days. We'd already captured that down movement of 1.72% on gold. That was a nice little move we captured there. Did go down further, but hey, we took our chunk and we're happy with it. You will find if you practice over and over that average true range, which is what we use to set our profit and loss bands. Again, the average true range times 1 for our loss band and times 2 for our 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. You'll see over and over that average true range works out pretty well for you, because it has to do with the range the stock's been in over the last 14 time periods. And it seems over and over again to help us capture that chunk out of the middle, which we are happy with. So gold moving down a little lower below those prior lows. Again, gold just not getting a break. It is negative on the STC on the half-day chart. Where are we on the 2-day? Negative there, moving down, reaching lower lows. Where are we on the weekly? Again, same here, big red down candle. So I can't wait for gold to finally get down to wherever it's going to go and start moving up again. I'm ready to go long gold, but don't know how long that's going to be. Lastly, we'll move to Bitcoin. What's up with old Bitcoin? Again, it had bottomed out, rolled up some, and looks like it's just heading right down toward that same old bottom. What are we going to see happen with Bitcoin? I don't know. That whole crypto space is not doing so well. And because of all this sideways sliding, of course, our STC is not doing much for us. Of course, the STC is a combination of the MACD, the Moving Average Convergence Divergence Indicator, and stochastics. So it helps us in a lot of ways, but you got to have a market that's moving. Nothing on these charts works well when things aren't moving, when they're just in this sideways slide. Down 5.33% for the day. 2-day, where are we there? It's negative and down. We had those 4 days of up movement and then just rolled back over. And of course, on this weekly chart, again, just red, 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 red. We are waiting for Bitcoin to bottom out and move up again. How long will it be? Will it be a week? Will it be a year? Will it be 5 years? I don't know. But we'll be here for you to watch it when it turns around. You got to have some market capitulation. Everybody's got to think Bitcoin's never coming back. Get out, take all their losses, and then like it is with psychology in the market all the time. When things are going down, people think they'll never go up. When they're going up, people think they'll never go down. And the dummies always sell at the exact wrong time. And when they sell everything and get out, Bitcoin's over, it's probably about the time it'll roll around. That's the way it always is. Folks, that's where we are at the end of the day on Tuesday, going into the hump day. Thank you so much for being with us. We always love to hear from you. CW@chartingwealth.com. God bless from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.